welcome back to Cujo06241's Vic-A-Thon, the marathon where I review everything Victoria Justice. In part 3 of this marathon, we are going to look at Victorious. Now, I've made a couple videos about Victorious before, so I don't think I need to say too much, but this is Vic-A-Thon, so I will go over it again. Victorious is about a girl named Tori Vega. She goes to a performing arts high school. And basically, the show follows her and this colorful cast of friends of hers. It's got good music. It's got an interesting premise. Basically, anything happens in this show. You have Tori Vega, who is the main character. She's probably the most normal among the cast, besides Beck and Andre, because they're pretty normal too. Beck is like... he's just one of the guys. There's really not too much interesting things I can say about him. Not that he's a bad character, it's just, I don't know, he's just not unique to me. He's very generic. You have Andre, who is Tori's best friend, and also the big music guy in the group. He's the one that's always, like, writing the songs. He's always coming up with the piano rhythm and stuff. You have Trina, who is Tori's older sister. She's very selfish, but she's actually one of the funnier characters in the show. Then you have Jade, who is a complete psychotic bitch, and she's also dating Beck, which is actually quite interesting. I like Beck and Jade as the couple. That they're so opposite that it's actually kind of funny. You have Robbie, who's basically just the whipping boy. Rex is just a puppet, and he's actually quite funny. I think he's actually probably the funniest character next to Jade or Trina. And last, not least, you have Kat. I gotta be honest, guys, I'm not big on this character. Kat is borderline retarded. Okay, she's retarded. She says the stupidest things, and I get it's a kid's show, and in the first season, she was great. I love Kat in the first season, and I still do. I still like Kat in the first season, but it seems like as the show progressed, she got more annoying than funny. She literally just says any random thing, whether it's relevant to the plot or not. Like, they'll be talking about some kind of class or something, like Psychowitz's class, and then she'll just be like, "One time, my brother flushed the toilet, and it overflowed, and he tried blaming it on my dog. It wasn't the dog's fault, though." It's just not funny half the time. I've gone back and watched every episode. I've seen every episode at least like 2 or 3 times, and I'm sorry, I don't like her. I don't like Kat after the first season. She just gets annoying. But nonetheless, all the characters worked very well together. They had great chemistry with one another. The show's a bit too goofy at times. There's this episode where there's this big ping pong team lie, and Tori knows there's something a bit off, and she goes, "Something's wonky here." And I'm going to get to the bottom of that wonk. It was funny when I first heard it. Now I've heard it a few times, and it's like, okay. The show is like that. Nickelodeon anymore really is like that. It's very, very childish, and maybe because I'm 22, I've kind of grown out of that. But Victorious, I still watch reruns of it on Teen Nick when I get the chance. It's a good show. I remember when it was first announced that the show was canceled, I was pretty bummed. I really was. I had no idea what was going to be happening in the future, for not just Victoria Justice, but for the rest of the cast. Obviously, Ariana Grande's made it pretty big. Victoria, she's got some big things coming. Avon has a show on ABC. Liz Gillies has done some movies. Leon Thomas III has released a couple of mixtapes. I think, yeah. I haven't heard anything out of Matt Bennett. I don't care. So, yeah, that it is what it is. But at the time, I had no idea what was going to happen. I was really kind of bummed because, I knew all these cast members had potential. I didn't want to see their careers just like drop because Victorious had ended. Now, had I known what was going to happen for all of them at the time, I probably wouldn't have been as bummed. And to be honest, I don't want a Victorious finale. I don't want a proper finale, I should say. Because the show is over and done with. The cast members have moved on to bigger and better things. And I think it's time that we all move on with them. It's just time to stop looking back on the past and appreciate Victorious for what it was. As Mikey Reed said, don't frown because it's over, smile because it happened. Victorious will always hold a special place in our hearts. It was a good show, but there are bigger and better things to come for not just Victoria, but the rest of the cast. Now, there was a spin-off for Victorious and iCarly called Sam and Cat, where the characters Sam and Cat basically lived together and had a babysitting service. I honestly don't even care. When I first heard about the show, I thought it sounded really stupid, and I watched it. I watched an episode that really pissed me off because it was like a big fuck you to everybody that bitched about Victorious not getting a proper finale. And although I just said that I don't want a proper finale because I don't feel like it's necessary, I still think the fact that they created an episode basically mocking everybody that was pissed is just a big middle finger to everybody else. Basically, Sam and Cat's favorite TV show gets canceled, and they go to the studio because they're pissed. It wasn't even that funny. I barely laughed at the episode. Maybe it was because of that. That was in the back of my mind. I didn't like how it was basically a middle finger to the audience that was pissed when Victorious got canceled. And I watched the Halloween special, and it just didn't make me laugh. I gave the show 2 shots. I tried watching it twice, and it didn't make me laugh. So Sam and Cat, I just wasn't interested in. I am sorry. I'm not going to give it a grade because I didn't watch every episode, and I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to give it a grade when I haven't seen every episode. I just didn't like the show. I didn't like it at all, and I'm done talking about it now. As for Victorious, I'm going to give it a B+. I thought it was a little goofy, a little immature at times, but still pretty funny, and it launched all the cast members' careers. So we have that to thank for it. Well, guys, that's all I have for you for this segment of Vic-A-Thon. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about The Boy Who Cried Werewolf, which is, in my opinion, a very underrated movie. For Nickelodeon standards, that is. I will get more into that in the next segment. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hit me up on Twitter at Cujo06241. We could talk more about TV shows, sports, movies, video games. I'm a very sociable guy. Feel free to talk to me about anything. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. As always, have a great day. This is Cujo06241, signing out.